From the studios of Foxboro Cable Access, located in the center of Foxborough, Massachusetts, you are watching Around Foxborough.
Hi, I'm your host, Tim Green, and this is Around Foxborough. And today we have two students from the Ahern Middle School, Lucius and Ryan, and they'll be starring in the production of The Phantom TollBooth. How are you guys today?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about the play?
Yeah. I'll start. I'm Lucius. I'm in 7th grade. I got cast as the lead, Milo. Milo is a mysterious boy that likes to, he doesn't really like where he is when he's there. So when he's at school, he wants to be home. When he's home, he wants to be at school. He has very different, personalities. And I think it's a cool character to play because I get to look at the world of the Phantom TollBooth at different perspectives.
Very cool. Good answer. What about you, Ryan?
So my name is Ryan. I'm also in 7th grade, and I got casted for Milo as well, for the lead, just in the other cast. But the theme of Milo is to be really kind of down and not too excited about anything in life. And so when he kind of travels the Phantom TollBooth, he learns a whole lot and kind of gets taught to be happy and stuff. And it's a weird play, but Milo gets taught a lot in there.
Okay. It was based off a book, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. How did you guys get involved with theater?
So my first year of theater with the Ahern Drama Club was in 5th grade, which is the year that middle school starts for Foxborough. I got cast as Scarecrow for Wizard of Oz, and at that point I was in a GB because I was so scared that I was gonna not memorize my lines, and that's how it all started for me.
Okay, how about you, Ryan?
So my whole journey began in 2021 because I've always loved the thought of acting and kind of getting on stage and showing your talents. So it all started in 2021 for me. So I did Annie, the musical, through the Mansfield YMCA.
Oh, cool.
I got casted as Rooster. And for someone who's never done a play before, I think that's a pretty good role. But it was an interesting play because since it was the time of COVID, you didn't get to go on stage and do it, so they filmed it instead and then sent out a link for people to buy tickets online to see it. And since then, I've done a few plays. I've gotten the lead in one other play. So getting the lead again has really kind of given me flashbacks since the last time I got the lead. So theater's always just kind of been a big goal in life, and I really enjoy it.
Okay. Do you guys have any tips for memorizing lines?
Yeah, so how I memorize my lines is I take a scene out of the whole script and I just say the lines 10 times over and over again. And then I close the book, I wait about 5 minutes and then see if I memorize it. And even if you memorize it, you should still be going over it daily just to make sure you've got it down cold so that you don't mess up when you're on stage. But that's how I memorize my lines.
How about you, Ryan?
So yeah, I'm not sure if people do it the same way, but I kind of...
Everybody's probably different.
Yeah, so I look at the lines and then kind of review them, see what I am kind of saying in a specific scene. And then a lot of times I close my book and then try and say the lines. And if I go blank, I see the line again and then start at the beginning where I started to make sure that I get through the whole scene good.
Okay, just so you don't just mess up on stage, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, what would you say you like most about the character you play?
So the most of my character that I think is the best part about it is that he's a very optimistic person, but also very droopy at the same time. So I would say the most of getting out of it is being able to do the show.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. How about you, Ryan?
I enjoy getting Milo because since he's kind of a down person, I feel he kind of matches me a little bit because I don't always get excited about super important things or anything. So when I kind of heard about who I was kind of auditioning for and getting a shot for, I was this guy's pretty similar to me. So getting the role definitely had some similarities to my real life anyway.
Okay. What was the rehearsal process like? And you guys are both getting the lead, obviously, here. So.
Yeah.
So we had rehearsal every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays. It started off with only like an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours. Now we go until like 5:30, 6 o'clock. And it's been a long journey of memorizing lines and like remembering your scenes and what you're supposed to do the next scene. What I always say to myself is to be a scene ahead of the scene that you're in, to make sure that your props are ready and you like know your lines. And so, yeah.
Okay. What you?
Yeah, rehearsal's always fun. Of course, it gets harder as you get closer to the play. And we've gone through a couple run-throughs on the show, and I've forgotten lines a couple times. So like I get embarrassed and kind of stressed out because it's like, how did you do that? Like, how did you forget the line? But luckily, our director is really nice, and like he kind of helps us to remember the line again and doesn't get that angry if we forget it. He's just like, go home, practice this line if you really need to.
And you guys rehearse together as well?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. You guys had any funny moments on set or anything?
Yeah. So one of my favorite moments in the show is there is these people called the lethargians. They're always very like sleepy and tired, and I'm supposed to laugh in that scene, and they shout at me to not laugh, and it's against the law, and it's just really funny to me.
Okay, how about you?
So one of my favorite funny things was one rehearsal I didn't end up there, and they did a scene that I hadn't practiced yet. So I was like going through the script, reading my lines as other people had already known the lines, and so they were rehearsing it and all. And then since I really didn't know what the whole scene was about, it was like one of the characters who's supposed to be kind of mean and like encouraging me to do things even though it's just gonna land me in a bad spot. So they're like, hurry up and climb up here. I bet you can try. And so at rehearsal, I didn't know I was supposed to like fight back. So I tried climbing up the stage, and then everyone was like, no, you don't climb up. So that made me giggle a couple times.
Do you guys see yourselves acting after this play?
Yes, I see myself hopefully going on until college. I did a high school show just this past month. They invited me to come do the show because they didn't have enough kids that wanted to do the show, and it was You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. So I'm hoping that I continue doing.
Keep doing it.
Yeah.
Would you, Ryan? You think we keep doing this?
Yeah, absolutely. So the next play that I already have in plans is going to be the spring musical that our middle school is going to be doing. Same director and all. So yeah, I'm predicting that's going to be my next one. But if there's a play that I'm interested in, I'm going to do it no matter what.
Okay. Do you guys have any advice to other students maybe that want to get into doing the acting at the middle school?
Yeah. So if you're nervous about going on stage or presenting your talent, what I do before a show is I just shake off all those nerves and I take a deep breath and I tell myself, you got this. So for my first time, which was in Wizard of Oz, I was literally about to pee my pants while we were waiting for the first scene to start.
So I felt the first time I wanted to do this show.
Yeah. So my friends help a lot, and they help me get through it and breathe. So my advice is to just breathe, and no matter what, even if you mess up, people aren't gonna laugh at you. They're gonna clap for you if you have a good audience, which 90% of the time it is. So yeah.
What would you, Ryan?
Don't hold it back. If you know we're good, don't get the jitters or something, because 99.9% of the time you get off that stage feeling really, really awesome. So if you want to do theater and it's something that you want to do, don't hold it back. Just as long as you give it practice and give it your all, it's going to be your favorite hobby.
Okay, that's great. Those are great tips, guys. Is there anyone that you guys would like to thank?
I would like to thank my director, Mr. Walker, which is actually behind the scenes today watching us. He has put a lot of effort into this show, and originally he wasn't the person that does the fall play. So I'm very thankful that he stepped up and took the job on to do this show, because if not, there would have not been a fall show. So,
right. Yeah, it was great of him to step up
and
do
he's
that.
very helpful with everything, like Ryan said previously, he doesn't get too mad. He's really funny. He he's really easy to compromise with. Like if there's a scene that you don't feel comfortable doing something, he'll change it for you if you don't feel that comfortable. So
that's great.
I'd like to thank him.
Ryan, do you have anybody else?
Yeah, I want to thank my director/English teacher because he's an English teacher who has to grade 100 students.
Did you guys both your English teachers as well?
No, only mine.
Only yours. Okay.
Yeah. He grades 100 kids for a bunch of assignments. He does a fall play. He does a winter play a couple towns away, and then he does the spring musical. So he's really busy, and then set crew, they do amazing too, making sure that the show is as good as it can be. And then I also want to thank Cindy Wallen because she's a really handy dandy person, and she builds these humongous sets, and God knows how much hours and time she takes out of her day just to build these sets for a play that lasts a couple nights.
Do you guys, is it other students helping with the sets and stuff?
Yeah, so the set crew is made up of all students except for Cindy Walnut, who is the tech director. The set crew does a really big job on moving stuff on and on and off, and they help they're there every day building, painting, doing all the work so I would say that the set crew is just as important as the cast.
Okay.
Because without the set crew, there would be no show.
Right.
Without the cast, there would be no show. So everyone is equally
part of the whole production?
Yeah.
All right, guys, I know we talked about it off camera a little bit. Do you remember when the play is?
Yes.
Okay. I have it written down here, but let's see. Tell me.
So
you tell me when you're on and the times, and I'll have you tell me when you're on. Okay. Go ahead, Lucas.
So my 2 shows are December 5th at 7:30 at the Ahern, and which is opening night, and I get closing night, which is December 7th at 7:30.
Okay. Now you, Ryan, when are you on?
So I'm on Friday, December 6th at 7:30, and then I do Saturday, December 7th at, when is it?
Is it 1 o'clock?
December 6th at 1 o'clock.
Oh, 1 o'clock. I say, yeah, December
A matinee.
7th at 1 o'clock is for me, and then he closes the whole show.
Closes the whole show out. Awesome. Well, guys, thank you for coming in. Do we now, this is a tough, do you remember the website?
Yes.
Okay, where can we find all the information about the show?
All the information is at aherndrama.ludus.com.
Very good.
aherndrama.lodus.com.
Okay, awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming in. Good luck. Break a
you.
leg.
Thank you.
And I'm your host, Tim Green. This was Around Foxborough. You can see all of this and more at fcatv.org. Thank you so much, Lucius and Ryan, for being with us. And now we're fortunate enough to have the director of the play, Scott Walker.
Thank you.
Scott.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. How are you tonight?
I'm good, thanks.
All right. Looks like you 2 pretty great kids there with the leads.
Yeah, I mean, to follow them, I mean, they set the bar pretty high, so.
Not easy to do.
No.
What are the benefits you think of having 2 of the leads?
So, I mean, I've double cast many shows when I've directed them, and there's a number of benefits. One is that whenever there is a cast member that can't attend a rehearsal or whatever, there's always somebody else. I'm fortunate with Lucius and Ryan that they are especially good friends, so they build off of each other and complement one another and their skills quite a bit.
Yep.
And also, it gives, to double cast the leads, gives a lot more kids an opportunity to be featured in the show. You know,
Right.
we have, the Ahern has a lot of students. We have a cast of over 50 kids. And so to give a lot of those kids an opportunity to, step out in front, double casting allows me to give that opportunity to more kids.
Is it just in the lead or is it in...
So we actually double cast 22 of the parts this show.
That's great. So a lot of kids getting a chance.
Yeah, a lot of kids get, and they're all excited because if they're one of the double cast parts, they also get to wear a body mic during the show. The fame that they feel. But the fact is, it does give a lot of kids an opportunity. And on the 2 nights when, Lucius is performing his part, performing Milo, Ryan is in the ensemble. So, all the kids are in all 4 performances.
Right.
So it also gives the leads an opportunity to experience being part of the bigger group as well. They don't just have the opportunity to practice one single role. They're also practicing what it means to be part of the bigger team, which you get more when you're in the ensemble. So
right.
They get both experiences.
Okay. And how did you get into doing this?
So I've been directing for a really long time. So I taught at Dover Sherburne before I came to Foxborough. And I directed there. And then I've been teaching in Foxborough for about 10 years now. And my resume came with me. The superintendent at the time knew that I had been directing in Dover, was excited about having somebody who could direct in Foxborough. And so I've done some shows at the high school here, and I've done some shows at the Ahern as well. And now I get to direct both shows at the Ahern every year, which is really exciting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a lot that goes into like making the sets and things like that as well?
Yeah, I mean, we're very fortunate to have a lot of people in town in the community who are willing to give of their time to make the sets possible. I know that the boys talked about Cindy Wallen,
yes.
who is our tech director, and she leads a force of a number of parents and kids, crew, who step up. They come on a regular basis, 2-3 times a week, to build really fantastic sets, paint really fantastic sets. We have parents and community members and kids who have talents at building, who have talents at lighting, who have talent at sound, who have talents at painting and artistry. There are a lot of parents who used to do this kind of thing when they were in high school and college and haven't really had an opportunity.
Right, yeah.
Now their kids are here.
Yeah, I think my wife, I think of her. That's
right, and
all
they,
through high school, that was her. Yep.
Some of them, their ability to do the artistry into the set, they haven't been able to use those skills, and now they're doing it for their children.
Right.
So, it's really nice.
Okay. Is there anything you'd want to say to maybe one? I know I already asked Lucius this and Ryan, but coming from the director's point of view, maybe a kid that is on the fence about getting into acting and things like that. Is there something you'd like encourage them to do?
Yeah, well, I mean, first thing that I would say, and I've said this to other kids in the past, is drama is really 4 activities. So you have the cast, and you have the stage crew, and you have the tech crew who's doing the lights and the sound, and then you have the crew that does costumes and makeup and hair. So it's really 4 activities, and that gives a lot of kids an opportunity to be a part of it. Yeah, we have 50 cast members, but we have like 20, 25 crew members as well. So, you're talking about a decent chunk of the pie of the student body who's involved in the show. A lot of those kids who might be on the fence about doing the show will start out by doing something with the crew and sort of dipping their toes into what drama is a part of, and then they get the bug and they want to be on stage. The fact is I try to keep the environment really comfortable for the kids. I try to keep it upbeat and positive. We try to make it a really big activity for a lot of people so that, there are students like Lucius and Ryan who want to be the lead in the show and earn that and show that they can do it. There's also places for kids who just want to have a presence on the stage but don't necessarily want to be the lead, okay. And then that's a way for them to experience and experiment with drama as well.
Okay. Have you seen any success stories of the kids that you've taught over the years?
Yeah, I mean, so I'm fortunate because when I direct kids in middle school and high school, some of them I get for 7 or 8 years in a row, right? So, in fact, just
if you start when you're younger, obviously.
Well, that's it. Just as a side story, a month ago, I actually officiated the wedding of one of my former drama kids who was a 6th grader in my classroom many years ago. Yeah. So you get to watch them grow up. You get to watch them build their confidence. Drama is one of the few activities I think that you give to a kid where there's no adults that save them once the lights are on and the audience is there. They are learning so much about independence. They're learning so much about confidence. They're learning so much about public speaking. They're learning so much about interacting and being part of a team, flexibility. It's live theater. Rarely do things go the way that they are planned from beginning of show to end, right? So, and being there for each other when those things do happen. Do I have success stories? I have millions of success stories because those are all the skills that we want the kids to learn and make them more successful adults and more successful members of their community when they grow up. And I've seen countless kids start off as very timid, quiet kids who step in to the audition, stuttering a little and, a little nervous, and you can barely hear what they're saying during their audition. And by the end of their time with us, they are running the program. They're helping, they're running backstage, or they're a lead on stage, and,
right.
And just the way that they interact with others off stage becomes so much more confident and outgoing.
Building.
And they're all the kinds of skills that are really, really hard to teach. It's like teaching someone to drive. You only learn those skills when you're actually doing them, right? You learn by doing, and you learn about being confident and speaking to others, and getting your opinions across and your perspectives across by doing those things. And drama gives the kids that opportunity.
Okay. In a similar vein, like a parent maybe that's maybe a little, timid about getting their kid involved in drama and things like that. Maybe, do you have anything that you would say to them?
Yeah, I have 3 teenagers of my own.
Okay.
I have twin 17-year-olds and a 16-year-old.
Okay.
So, like anything, my 3 kids couldn't be more different from one another. You want them to follow their passions. If there is a kid, one of my 3 children is very much into drama, and she kind of always was. But if you have a child who is interested in exploring something, especially in middle school, that's the time to explore it, right? So that's when they have all of these opportunities that are being given to them through the public school system, and a chance to experiment with this, experience this, and maybe they'll love it, and that'll be their new passion. Maybe it's something that they only try once or twice, but they get those skills and they get to be with those people, and they can say that they've had that experience. And a lot of kids, once they've done it once, they get the bug, and then they can't be torn away from the stage after that. As a parent, I just want to see my kids do something that I know is a good thing to be doing, with people who they can trust, working on skills that they're going to need in their life, and follow their passion, right? So I think that drama gives them all of those things.
Okay, that's excellent advice. I know that Lucius and Ryan had already given us the dates, but can you mind giving them one more time?
No, that's totally fine. So we're performing December 5th, 6th, and 7th. All 3 nights we have a performance at 7 p.m. On the Saturday, we have a performance at 1 and 7. So Lucius's performances are opening and closing night at 7, December 5th and December 7th. Ryan's performances are in the middle, December 6th at 7 and December 7th at 1.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. All right, well, Scott, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us.
I'm your host, Tim Green, and this is Around Foxborough. You can watch all of our content at fcatv.org. Thank you so much.